Is holding a news conference to explain his squad selection. Let's listen in.
By giving ourselves more time, but of course that means that you've got this difficult scenario where people are having to wait for bad news, and tried to do it as respectfully and with as much human side as possible. But I also know that for the players that aren't coming with us, that's a devastating blow, and I mean they've all been amazing with how they've dealt with it, but I know that it's a difficult day for them and for the teammates, because they're of course really excited about going, and they should be, and they've done unbelievably well, in a lot of cases, to push some experienced players out of the squad. But we've got that balance of excitement and a bit of remorse for a difficult day.
Probably you'll have known that the headlines were going to be made by the absences of Jack Grealish and James Maddison, two players who've done a lot for you, been very experienced and have been a big part of the squad in recent tournaments. Why are they not here, and how did they take the news when you told them?
Well, as I said, all of the players took the news really respectfully. Of course, all players are going to believe they should be in, and that's why they're top players, because they have that self-belief and they have that mindset as well. But the fact is, we've got some players who have been playing extremely well all season in the league, and we just feel other players have had stronger seasons, and particularly in the last 6 months or so. I think we saw some fantastic performances the other night that underlined some of that, and the attacking areas of the pitch in particular, we're blessed with a lot of options, all slightly different. Of course, Madders and Jack both give us something different as well. So there've been tough calls. There've been calls that we've gone over and over and over as a group of staff, to try to be fair, to try to get the right rationale, and we back our decisions, but we recognise we could have gone a different route, and both of the boys are big characters, fabulous teammates, great boys to work with. So yeah, sad to have to deliver that news to them.
In preparing for your announcement all week, all of us guys in this room have looked at what you've done in the past and the balance you've had in the squad, how many players in each position, for example. And in the previous tournaments, you've had 9 or 10 defenders on each occasion. This time, you've got a lot of injury concerns still in defence, and yet you're only taking 8. Why is that?
Well, Trent obviously can play both, and yeah, I think we were 9 in the last couple of tournaments when I looked through. So I think we're the same. That was part of the reason that in the end we couldn't take Harry Maguire, because we would have had to have taken the 10th, and I think that balance wouldn't be right. It would have left us short in other areas of the pitch. Harry has made some progress, but that's been complicated, and we definitely wouldn't have had him in the group stages, and there was too many hurdles to get through without really being clear of where we might get to. So, and given that we've not got a clean bill of health across the rest of the back line as well, then that became, we need cover, we need players that are fit and ready to go from the start. So again, another really difficult call. You know how I feel about Harry Maguire and what he's done for England, and what he's done for me as a manager. So yeah, that's a slightly different case to the other two, but no easier because of that.
Really brief follow-up, sorry, probably just a one-word answer. Have you got any other defenders or any other players on standby? Because you can make changes up to the final game, of course.
Yeah, Jarell Quansah has stayed with us. I think he's not had the experience of an England international at Wembley, so I think that would be great for him to be with us for the game, and we'll go from there. Hopefully, we're not needing to call anybody else in.